This is Spreaker Web Radio.
Off the cuff, yeah. Off the cuff, yeah. It's off the cuff, 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 yeah. It's off the cuff, it's off the cuff, it's off the cuff, it's off the cuff, yeah.
This is God ordained. Get in position, cause we on a mission, fulfilling this vision, releasing contention in this God we praise. The one who keeps us from falling, receiving this faultless. Ooh, that man is awesome. You see, it's every day we celebrate. Right now it's time for us to elevate. So get your hands up, cause Hosanna's great. And see, they call it off the cuff because we tailor-made.
Off the cuff, yeah. Off the cuff, yeah.
All right. What's up? Welcome to Off the Cuff.
Off the Heezy.
I threw you off with that. All right. Also known as OTC University. Eric looked at me like, what are you doing? Let me welcome those of you that are listening to the show for the very first time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate you.
Like to thank those of you that are hanging out with us every week. Keeping it 100 every week.
100.
The voice you are currently listening to is that of none other than Bobby.
Big Bobby. 4X Bobby.
Don't stop. And the voice you just heard is that of none other than Lil Chad. Holla at the boys.
What's up, America?
Leave your real voice.
I would like to thank you all for coming out.
And the next voice you hear will be that of Easy-E Eric.
What's up, y'all?
All right.
What's up? Yeah,
He
nice
says the
name.
same thing, yeah. I don't even want to call you E40.
Right. You are E40, though.
E40.
Period.
Right.
So nice.
But you are Easy-E. That's Easy-E.
Thank you
right
so
there.
much.
We got a hot show for the ladies tonight, though. Got a hot show. The show tonight is going to help
Didn't he
out
die?
tremendously. Stop it. Men of the show is going to help you out, too. The topic we're dealing with tonight is something you hear ladies talk about all the time.
All the time.
Where are the real men at?
Stand up.
Tired of hearing it.
Stand up.
Always
Yeah.
talking about it.
Stand up.
And don't know what a real man is.
Don't even know what it
If they
is.
walk right in front of them, they can't
And
tell.
slap the Jableski out of
They
him.
can't tell. Ladies, you'll be able to identify the traits of a good man when we're finished with the show tonight. Men, some of you out there think you got it all together.
But you don't.
Far from it.
But there may be some areas you are lacking. And so hear us out tonight.
Okay.
Not H-E-R-E, but H-E-A-R. Here.
Bobby can spell.
Tonight.
Did you do that by yourself?
All by myself. And see where you fall in the equation, brothers. All right, let's hit them right off the cuff, man. Number one trait of a real man. Check it out. Real men are strong.
You mean like...
Not muscle strong.
Oh, okay. All right.
Easy.
Break it down.
I'm talking about real men don't cry.
He just said you wasn't real, Eric. How you feel
Real
about
men
that?
don't moan.
He just said you
Real
ain't
men
real
don't
again.
complain.
He just said you are not real
Wait a
again.
minute. How are you directing this stuff at me?
Right,
That's what I'm
right.
trying to understand.
Real men don't get sick. Real men don't need to go to the doctor every time something wrong with them.
Right. Who was that? Who was that?
I don't know. Nobody in this room. Now we know as a man for real, you're not invincible.
Right.
Right? Only person invincible is Jesus Christ and
Right.
God himself. Right? So that ain't really what we talk about. So we don't want you to take what I said literally.
Thank you.
But what we mean is that a man doesn't act like a child when things happen to him.
Right.
Right.
You see what I mean? You're talking about that attitude right there.
Right.
A real man makes decisions and lives with the consequences of that decision.
Right.
Good or bad, right or wrong,
Right or wrong.
man up.
Instead of blaming somebody else,
There you
I
go.
did this because of you,
Because of you.
or like Adam did. You know, it's that woman you
gave me.
Right.
A real man accepts responsibility for his actions and his words. puts up the curtains, paints the garage, takes the wife out, take the kids on a walk, vacuum sometime. Ain't nothing wrong with a man vacuum.
Ain't nothing wrong with a man vacuum.
Sweeping sometime.
Sweeping.
I mean,
helping the kids with the homework.
Helping the kids with their homework.
Right.
You know, that's what real men do.
Yeah.
All this old fake stuff out here, you know, men don't do this, men don't do that. I don't understand.
I used to wash my girl's hair, everything.
Yeah, because you had
Yeah.
full of them, right?
Yes.
You had to do that.
I had to
But
do
you
all
didn't
the
play with
time.
dolls when you was growing up.
Yeah, he did.
No,
Stop
hold on,
playing.
no. I did not play with dolls,
I
but
understand. But how'd you learn to do hair?
I had to sit
On
at
that
the
black
table.
Barbie.
right. I could only get like 3 plaits out of the black Barbie hair when I was a kid growing up.
Oh, so you tried it?
I tried it. So when life gets tough,
That explains that
Play with a
purple
Barbie.
shirt.
that's right. Real men slap it and move on. And my purple shirt is Adrian Peterson. Ain't no just purple shirt. Ain't no Prince going on up here. That's Eric.
Hey, I ain't got no problem with you wearing a purple shirt with another man's name
Leave
on
it on. Leave it on. Why you trying to make it like that? You got me all discombobulated. A real man don't wear a jersey. I'm sorry. Real men are masculine.
Yes.
But sensitive to his woman's needs. Right? Because just
Oh, no
because
doubt.
you're masculine doesn't mean you can't be sensitive.
Yeah.
Although men get it tripping sometimes.
So what do you mean by masculine? I mean, I know what you mean, but I want to make sure they understand
Like,
what masculine.
masculine to me is a man's man.
Okay.
You know what that is? Like a man that takes responsibility, a man that stands up, a man that goes to the door when the bills and the bill collector is at the door, man that answers the phone when the bill collector's calling, not checking caller ID saying, don't pick that up. No,
Right.
Real men say, I got this.
Okay.
I got this.
And a masculine man too is chivalrous. You know, a masculine man is all right with
Chivalrous.
opening the door.
Get with
Right.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, a masculine man is all right with, you know, wanting to pick up that check.
Yeah.
You know, a masculine man is all right with, you know, I can't stand when I'm driving up the street, especially I'm in the city, and I see, you know, a male and a female walking, and the female is closest to the street.
Right.
Yeah.
That gets under my
Yeah.
skin because
Yeah,
I'm
me
like,
too.
for me, my natural inclination is you got to walk to the inside.
Right.
You got to protect that.
Right, you got to protect that.
Uh-huh.
If somebody jumped the curb or something like that, then you taking it first.
There you
Right.
go.
Right.
There
You
go.
know, so that's just me. I don't know.
Never
Maybe I'm
understood.
different. I don't know.
Yeah, I understand. I saw something crazy similar to that. I was in the mall one day. Dude was walking with his daughter. Daughter was probably about 3 or 4 years old. And the daughter was like, wanted, you know, dad to pick her up. And he was like, I'm not picking you up. So she starts crying. Right? She's like 3 or 4 years old. So she starts crying. He tells her, stop crying. I ain't picking you up. And I'm like, what's up with that? You in the mall
Right.
with your little girl, and she crying because she wants you to pick her up. Now, that's one thing about having a spoiled kid.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's different.
Right.
But as I could see by walking by, this wasn't your average spoiled child.
Right.
She wasn't falling out.
Right.
She had her arms up and everything. And I'm like, who can look at a child with arms up saying, you know, pick me up and crying,
Yeah.
and you just keep it moving?
Yeah.
An insensitive cat who
Yeah.
didn't get no love
Yeah.
himself.
But let me tell you about this
I
brother.
think he's
though.
doing the right
This
thing.
brother had on Tim's, you know, hat cop, hoodie, you know, cool, leaning with it. And I'm like, dude, you know, I guess his thug mobile was working hard that day.
Right.
You know, his thug game was strong
That's
that
real
day.
trifling.
You know,
For
so
real.
I'm like, man, you ain't.
Well, he can have
thugless at all.
a strong thug game, but his love game for
Yeah,
his
his
child
love
needs to
game
be
was
strong.
broke.
That's what needs to be
Love
strong.
game was
Yeah.
broke. I think real men keep it 100. He doesn't show emotion at the wrong times. He knows when emotion works and when emotion's going to be
right.
to his detriment.
And I think for most men, you know, that is, I think that's a challenge.
Yeah.
You know, being understanding when to
Hold him and
invoke
when to hold
emotion,
him.
and let it out,
Yeah.
and when not to, because you know things get heated. Even with what we spoke about, you know,
A few weeks
a
back.
few weeks
Yeah,
back
yeah, yeah.
or whatever, you know, especially with the killings and all of the other stuff that was
Yeah.
going on. The men couldn't handle the
Emotion.
emotional aspect
Yeah.
of things.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you do have to step back and separate yourself. Let things calm down before
Yeah.
you deal with it. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to stand there and go back and forth and bark
Right.
with, you know, your child or with a woman.
Right.
You know, that doesn't make you weak.
Yeah.
You know, you just like, you know what? I know that this can escalate swiftly.
You know what I realized? I honestly realized that when I bark at a woman and they get emotional, I am weak.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
I know
I
exactly
did that to them. I don't think that's a great thing that I made them, cry.
Right.
Made
No,
them,
absolutely not.
tear up. That
Yeah.
don't make me a man.
That don't definitely not.
That means that I'm lacking something.
Yeah, that's weakness. That's
why
what
would
it is.
why would I do that to someone that I say that I care about?
It's because
You know what I'm saying?
at that point, I believe a man is weak when he treats a woman like that.
Yeah.
And really, if you think about it, the strongest man will, in situations like that, will allow himself to decrease so that she can increase or whatever, because that's where his heart is at.
Right.
He wants her
There you go.
to feel safe.
And when she increases, then she can get her point out.
Yeah.
She can get how she feels out. And then you can take that and really, give it back to her the way that it needs to be given back to her.
And now, with that being said as well, if that man is wise enough and sensitive enough to allow himself to decrease, she has to understand, how she has to address him at that point.
Right.
Because you can, just because he said okay and he's starting to listen to what you're saying, allow you to elevate a little, that doesn't mean continue to bark at him or talk down to him. Because you can change the whole game. You can take him out of the mode that he's in.
Yeah.
Quickly.
I think that happens a lot. I think sometimes, and especially those kind of situations where you with a woman and a woman has not had a lot of opportunity to be in the strong position. So then when she gets a chance to be in a strong place, they tend not to know how to act when they get there.
Right.
But you got to understand your woman in such a way as a man and understand your manliness enough that you cool with that. Because you should be able to take that. My wife can scream at me and say things out of the way to me, and I can take that. You see what I mean? And then I can come back around and be like, now that you calm down,
Right.
let me just try to show you something about what you did. For you to get in my face like that really put me on the defense.
Yeah.
I really wanted to slap you when you was up in my face.
Right.
But because I love you, I ain't slapping you because I'm a man.
Because you're a man,
Right, I'm a man. I'm not a punk.
Right.
A punk slaps a woman.
Right.
A man ain't got to slap a woman.
Right.
A man has enough sense to say, I'm dipping.
Right.
This is getting out of hand.
Put some space between, some space, some time.
Right. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you some time. You give me some time.
Right.
You talk about it, and we'll come back later. So when I come back now, we're not coming back to fight no more. We can talk about it, we can sit down and discuss it, but right now I got to be cool. I got to bounce.
Right.
And then she can't be calling you a punk.
Yeah.
Just like your daddy.
Exactly.
No, that's not
and I was just about to say that there's such thing, you got to still fight fair.
Yeah, you got to fight
and
fair.
stay above the
There
belt,
you go.
because you at a point, you
There you
cross
go.
the line. Certain things you say, you can't take back.
See, what I realized.
So it's not the old adage,
There you
sticks
go.
and stones.
Yeah, may break my
that
bones,
break
right.
your one.
Words
don't
hurt.
Words stick.
Yeah, they stick.
Words
and
carry it over time.
And they carry weight.
That's
Yeah.
true, because I was told in the first marriage, I was told that, I wasn't a man.
Oh, yeah.
I never forgot it. And at that point that came out of that mouth,
Game over.
it was game over.
Yeah.
That was my time was
That's
right
a deal
there.
breaker.
I was
is.
like, I
Yeah.
will never just I don't care if God sent an angel down to say you need to get back there.
Right.
I said it ain't happening.
It ain't
I'm just going to hell.
Yeah, right. I understand. Definitely understand. Real men have to understand that they're the backbone of the family. And I think that helped me too. Because when I realized that this family is going to go only as far as I push it, then I realized that I can't self-destruct. It all depends on me. It all falls back on me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like the money situation falls back on me.
Right.
My wife works part-time, but if her money is short, it still falls where?
On you.
Back on me.
You got to make the difference.
I can't go in on her.
Right.
Well, you got money too. You need to be doing what you're supposed to do. You supposed to pay electric bill. You ain't paying. You bought our hair, got nails on. No, I can't do that.
Yeah.
We can have a conversation about that. But guess what's got to happen though at the end of the month? I got to do what I got to do.
You got to do.
You see what I mean? That's what real men do.
Mm-hmm.
Real men ain't putting the weight on her.
Right.
See, I don't transfer weight. I carry weight. I don't do that. A lot of men transfer weight.
Yeah.
And that's crazy.
Yeah.
Black men can no longer transfer responsibility to the women. It's time for black men, real men, to stand up and take responsibility.
Stand up.
That's
You know, I get tired of seeing
That's why our shoulders bigger.
Yeah.
We're supposed to carry.
That's why. That's the way it's supposed to be, man. So if challenges scare you as a man, this is an area you need to put some work in. That's why It is, you know, when people say they lady gotta work, sometimes they say they want their women to work because they scared of carrying the weight of that marriage or that relationship. When you get to the altar and you say I do, you should have already decided I can carry the weight.
Yeah. I told my daughter just the other day, I said, when it comes time for you to think about getting married, I said, the guy that you're married, he has to have a job, and his job has to be so that if you get pregnant and your job says, and the doctor says, you know, you got to go on bed rest, and you're not getting any leave,
right?
You're not getting a paycheck. I said, he's got to be able to take care of everything. Yeah. I said, if he can't do that, you know, you're in a tight situation because y'all ain't moving in my house.
Yeah.
So these are things that you have to think about before you want to step out and get married. Think about this. He's got to be able to provide for you as a man. You know, can't come crying home.
My mindset has been for my daughter is, if you're gonna marry a man with the mindset that his check is the check we living on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if we can't live out his check, he ain't ready to get married.
It is.
Because the weight, we talked about weight earlier, that I can carry, she can't carry the weight I can carry. I go to work and deal with the man all the time.
Right.
Car breakdown, still go to work and deal with the man.
Right.
Women car breakdown, Lord have mercy. They
world
can't get
stop.
to work, leave. World got to stop.
Yeah.
Police, friends, everybody know, checks and everything. No, I ain't got time for that. We got to get to work.
Yeah.
We got to get to work. Because a man does that.
Right.
So I told my daughter, hey, we don't play that. We don't play that. Now, your money that you make should be your money that you make. And as y'all grow together, then y'all can make some more decisions about that.
Right.
But what you need to understand that as y'all grow together, guess what? Your money becomes a part of that relationship. And guess what? It's, like you said, it might be a situation where y'all living above y'all means.
Right.
You know,
Trying to keep up with the Joneses.
Trying to keep up with the Joneses.
Leave Joneses alone.
You better leave Ramisha and Khalil alone and keep it moving.
Yeah.
All right, here it is, trait number 2 right here, right? A real man is focused. A real man knows the difference between what's important and what isn't. All right? Like game night with the boys or keeping a date with your lady.
There you go.
You know, I mean, for real.
Right.
Priorities.
Is there a decision to be made?
I don't think there's a decision at all.
I don't think so at all.
You know?
Maybe you ain't took me out in a minute.
Right.
And you going out with the boys
Going out with the
tonight?
boys, yeah.
Yeah, that's not a good look at all.
Yeah, bad look right there.
That's bad.
That means you dealing with a boy, not a man.
Yeah. You're dealing with a boy.
Because his
sure.
needs are more important than yours.
Yeah.
For sure.
And guess what that gonna mean down the road? If he caring more about his needs than yours, you might be sitting at home a whole lot of nights.
Yeah.
And he dipping on you, getting his run out his chest.
Yeah. And a real man doesn't waste time on
stupidities.
Jesus Christmas. A real man doesn't waste time on stupidities.
Yeah, Jiminy Christmas.
That don't bring him any profit.
Yes.
Yeah.
You like 4 hours on the game.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
4 hours on the game.
Yeah.
On Xbox. You know, what are you getting good for?
Yeah.
For what?
I'm on level 38. I got to get to 40.
Are you sitting playing your boy who in another state or down the street somewhere,
Right.
and y'all on it all night long?
Right.
Yeah, all night long.
I'm not leaving my lady
Right.
in bed by herself all that time.
I
Why would you
sure
leave your
ain't.
hello, your woman in bed by herself so you can play Xbox or PlayStation?
Right.
That sounds crazy.
Different joystick I want to work on.
Hello?
That is,
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Hey,
that is stupid.
we can
and
play Call of Duty in the bedroom.
That's right.
You know?
that is stupid. That's what it is.
I'm going in for the kill.
Okay.
It's
Got a grenade launcher ready to blast.
That's right.
that don't
Woman down.
that does not bring any profits. Okay. I mean, sure, you know, there are things that you do as a hobby, you know, whatever, but
But
then
let it be a
hobby like for instance playing basketball, okay,
Yeah,
but
those
you're
type.
getting something out of that.
There you go.
Because you're exercising. You
And
know,
I'm not even saying you can't ever play. I'm
Right.
just saying, but the
You can
amount of
The
time that
amount-
people
exactly.
spend
Up at 2
doing
o'clock
it.
in the morning.
Yeah,
I got
you
an
know,
Xbox.
to the
Sleeping at
degree
work.
that you neglecting
Neglect-
Yeah.
right.
that woman.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Right.
Yeah. She's
Yeah.
sleeping with the pillow more than you.
Yeah.
So I mean, some things like that. Even if you got it, I mean, it should be just a purpose.
That's right.
You know,
That's
to what
right.
you're doing. You know, and like I got an Xbox at home. I don't get to play that much on it, hardly at all.
Right.
But every once in a while, I feel the itch. Maybe once a month.
What you play on the Xbox?
Basketball, Madden. No, I only play sports games.
Oh, okay.
I thought you was gonna say Dora the
No,
Explorer.
I don't.
I figured he wouldn't have said nothing too bad.
That's what I do. Basketball. I only play sports games on it. Come on now.
I'm just
You know
messing
how
with
you
you, E.
Y'all got problems, I tell you. A real man focuses on power, money, and family.
That's right.
All right? He doesn't focus on sex.
That's right.
Because you'll be in deep trouble if all you focus on was sex.
It's gonna run out in a minute.
It's because it's going to
You
run
gotta
out.
go to work when you got to bed.
Right.
Can't stay in bed all day.
And somebody may disagree. Like,
But you
really,
know what? And I say this too: if a man's money ain't right,
Sex ain't.
and his power, and he ain't elevating on the power
Right,
side,
right.
if his money ain't right, he ain't got no power.
Right. You know.
And you can understand the sex gonna be diminished at that point
Right.
anyway.
Right.
His sex drive, everything else.
She eating ramen noodles and beans. That ain't gonna help us.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
That ain't gonna help her, and it ain't gonna help him, because not if he care about it, because now he's sitting there looking like,
Lights
I
do.
got my lady sitting up here eating some
Yeah.
ramen noodles
Mm-hmm.
right here,
Right.
you know.
Lights might be going off at the
Yeah.
end of the month. I ain't sure.
Right.
She ain't thinking about no sex then.
That's true.
Walk in the house and they flickering,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Make you
Why
ready
the
to run
water
out.
ain't on? Oh, did I pay that? I forgot.
We ain't got no candles. Just turn them off anyway. They flickering, just turn them off.
Turn them off.
That way we don't know when they clip
We
it.
get used to it.
You right about that?
That's right. If his money's not right and things not,
Yeah.
family's not going on, then
Yeah.
he loses that power.
Right.
You know that he has, and so that's supposed. So a real man focuses on those things.
Yeah.
You know,
Now, a
and
real
not-
man's self-esteem is gonna be destroyed, man, when that joint is not
Yeah.
right.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
it.
See, I think also a man, as far as we talking about this other trait here about being focused, you know, I think a man that's not focused is unstable. They unstable spiritually when they're not focused. They unstable emotionally, you know, when they're not focused.
Right.
And I think a man has to have a vision, a goal,
Right.
know what he's doing. He's saving money. Why men don't save money anymore? They just spend up to a certain level, and
Yeah.
you know every paycheck is okay. No, you
Yeah.
gotta have a plan.
Gotta have a plan.
You know,
Right.
You gotta
No
have
doubt.
a plan. You gotta have a purpose in your life. You gotta be focused on that. You know what I'm saying? Because
Absolutely.
then
Absolutely.
your family can have purpose.
Right.
Your girl can have purpose. She
Right.
can believe that you probably one day gonna take care of her like
Right.
you should. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? That's gonna make life really good.
And your woman got to believe in you.
Right.
Because once she stopped believing in you,
Oh, yeah,
it's a wrap.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
Yeah, that brother
It's
on
a
the
wrap.
job be looking real healthy.
Yeah, she's just not gonna look at you the same
It's
way.
a wrap.
You know.
Yeah, you gotta do it.
That's bad.
And then it's not even going to be the brother that's got something.
Right.
It's going to be any brother.
Yeah. Right.
Once she don't believe in you, it's like, well, he wasn't doing it. So, and if the one with the money ain't paying some attention, she just, you know.
right.
I would tell my wife when we got married, you know, we didn't have a very expensive wedding, but you know, weddings are costly anyway.
Right.
And I would tell her, you know, when things were coming about, I said, listen, you don't panic unless I panic.
Right.
If I'm not panicking, it's gonna be okay. We're gonna find it from someplace.
If I'm panicking, water's in the boat. if I'm panicking,
Yeah.
we ain't got but 2 more breaths.
And,
Let me tell you
and your
something.
life wrap is not going to help.
I'm telling you.
So you can hang that
It
up. You,
takes me a long time to panic.
Because as a man, you have to be able to sit there and
Yeah.
figure out solutions to
and that's
problems.
it. You're going to figure it out.
You got to, and that's got to be your mindset.
gonna
But I
figure it
remember
out.
when I didn't have a job, my
Are
wife
you going
was
to do what
like,
you got to do to get it?
When I didn't have a job, my wife was like, "What we gonna do?" And I would say, "We good." Right? And she would say, "Well, how we gonna do this?" I got it. Then she would say things like, "I'm part of this relationship too." Right? You need to tell me what we doing. I said, "No, because when I tell you, I get stressed.
Exactly.
Because see, I'm trying to bring you into the plan,
Right.
and you don't like the plan.
Right.
So now you stressing me out.
Right.
Now you got me thinking I need to be stressed.
Right.
You see me? So I didn't tell her the plan.
Right.
I told her this. I
And
said,
she don't always need to know
Right.
what your hustle is
Here's
to
my
get
game,
to
what's
make
my
it happen.
game?
Long as it happened, long as at the end of the day you made it happen.
I told her, you still wearing the same clothes?
Right.
Well, yes, I don't know how. You still eating the same food? Yes, but I don't know how.
Right.
I said, the light's still on? Yes, but I don't know how.
Right.
You ain't got to know how.
Got to know how.
Your
Right.
job is to be my help me.
Right, right.
Help me keep my emotions together.
Right.
I got all the rest of this other stuff. You know what I mean?
And if you know things a little tight, quit looking for something every time a holiday come around.
Yeah.
Christmas,
Yeah.
Valentine's Day,
Stuff's tight.
you know.
Yeah, and I'm gonna let you know ahead of time.
Right.
Stuff's
What's your
tight.
Christmas
Yeah.
gift? And just lights, click, 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 click.
I mean, and then
What's
you
Valentine's Day? Shh.
I think you
wanna
mentioned
sit?
money,
That's it.
power, money, and what else was the other one?
Family.
Family,
Mhm.
right? I think the issue about power is not necessarily about where you go on the work scale.
Right.
Right. Exactly.
You know, power is the ability to do what you need to
Right.
do. That's all it is. It's not, I got to be the CEO, you know what I mean? Or I got to be in charge.
Right.
Or everybody got to bow to me kind of thing. No, it's not that. It's me being a man able to do what I got to do to get what I got to get done.
Right, like you're saying, if we're in a situation like the situation we're in with with the wedding and everything, and I would tell her, "Don't panic unless I panic. I got it."
Yeah.
Well, where you gonna get it from? I said, "Don't worry about it.
Right.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
You know,
Don't sell
sometimes
yourself.
I
Right.
gotta, and sometimes I gotta say, she'll say, "We need this with this."
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Okay, got it. Where you gonna get it from? Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I got it.
Got it.
All right." She called me today for something.
Yeah.
I got it.
Got
Don't
it.
worry about it. I got it. How? Don't worry about that.
Right. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
I got it. And like you said,
a lot of
it's true.
women, it's hard for them to accept that, man.
Because
You know?
because women want to know,
Right.
a lot of women are like I said, they're detail oriented and almost to a reality standpoint.
Yeah.
I need to see
I
it
need to see it in my mind.
in my mind how
Yeah.
you're going to do it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
sometimes in my mind I don't even have it worked out yet.
Right,
Exactly,
not yet.
right,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I ain't got it worked
But you
out
know
yet.
you're going to figure it
But I
out.
don't figure it out. But I don't want you to
Yeah.
panic, because if you panic,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, you messing me up.
Yeah,
So
messing
you
up.
just, I got this. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Deep,
Yeah, it's-
So those are things that
Yeah,
a real man focuses on:
Yeah,
power,
no.
money, and family. He doesn't focus on sex, because you can't focus on sex. You just can't. Sex gonna come as a
Right.
result of having power, money,
Yeah, and take
and
care
a
of the
good
family.
wife.
And
Right.
it's going to go if you don't.
Right.
Have power. and some
go.
money.
That's the first thing to
That's
go.
the first thing to go. She ain't gonna be feeling, and the brother definitely ain't gonna be feeling, because he just overwhelmed
Right.
now with stress and things that's going on.
Right.
You know?
Right.
For real. Now, the trait number 3: a real man knows the importance of family.
That's right.
A real man will keep his family strong and pass on his ancestors' history and traditions. He gonna talk to you.
Yeah.
Right. That's right.
About some things and make sure you up on what's happening. A real man knows that his children are God's gift and should be treated as such.
True that.
I know sometimes it happened. That happened with my son before. He's 16 years old now. And back when he was probably 14 years old, he would do things, and I would say, "Where'd you get that from?" He'd be like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "You didn't get that from me. Where'd you pick that up from? We don't do that."
Right.
He'd be like, "What's wrong with it? I don't see anything wrong with it." No, that ain't the point. See, a real man knows how to build tradition in his family.
Yeah.
He knows how to make his family march by the beat of his drum.
That's right.
Yeah.
And if anybody comes in my family marching by the wrong beat, I know then,
Right.
let me holler at you.
Right. Right.
You see what I mean? I'm not overlooking that, because I got to be protector of this family.
Right.
And I want him to carry on my traits, not his head football coach's traits.
Right. Right.
I know this pastor that passed recently, Pastor Cameron, and I went to check out the funeral or whatever, and man, the accolades that everybody gave him were just tremendous. I mean, it was consistent, just how he lived his life, and he was just one of those strong men, a strong, not just a man of God, but something need to be done in the house, I got it.
Right. Yeah.
Start your own business, go out on the road, do what you got to do, and just to make it happen, And that's one of those things that, when it starts to get passed down from generation to generation to your kids and everything, sometimes it's not what you say, it's what you do.
Right.
And if your kids can see
That's true.
your example
Yep.
and how you actually living, they're more likely to follow your example than what it is that you actually say.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, and I think a lot of times too that's an issue with some of these single family households where it's just the mother and she might be trying to raise a young man. All he sees is that mother, and she might be bargaining. Oh, you need to get a job. You needed this. You needed that. But if he didn't actually see another man doing that,
Right.
if he didn't see another man showing respect to her, at some point, that's when they run into issues because those young men get around 16, 17, start smelling themselves. Now they disrespect their mom.
Yeah.
Feeling like they had this sense of entitlement because they didn't see dad going out here making it happen all the time.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's all about that image that's instilled in their mind, not necessarily what's said.
One of the other things, and I didn't want to leave this out, and that's a great point, Chad. There are men out here that have 2 families. Y'all know that, right?
Yeah.
Family he lives with and a family with another child.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That with the ex-girl and all that.
Right.
He's not just responsible for the family that's here. He's responsible for his extended family too.
Right.
So you can't have your family over here kicking going on, but the other family that's not in the house with you,
Right.
you just letting that ride.
Neglecting your child. That's
Neglecting
right.
that child
Yep.
because you can't stand mama.
Right.
That's not a real man.
Right.
A real man knows how to deal with both families. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And even if it's not the woman, even if the ex is the ex and gone about their business, the reality is that you got a child over there that you need to teach too. You know, so you don't get off because they don't live in the house with you. You know what I'm saying? You got to do those little things. Like I think you talked about it in one of the last shows about reaching out to your son and how to build that connection with your son. I mean, that's critical, man. That's what real men do. Real men want to make sure everything in their life is together and they can do it at any given moment. Yeah, that's what real men do. Also, real men don't gossip.
Sure don't.
Now, this is something I've had to work on heavily. This called the law. It's something called the law of silence, right? He keeps his mouth shut.
Yeah.
Right? You know, have you ever been around men that don't talk a lot? What do you usually think about those men that don't talk a lot? That are real quiet, like when everybody else around them talking and they just sitting there being quiet.
Well, it depends on what's being talked about. I'm not a fan of fellas that just go and they just want to gossip all the time. The quiet guy is either has something to hide,
okay,
for one, or all he has to talk about is some gossip, so he can't really relate to anything else on the level that some of the people are talking about.
You know what I've often thought? I've often thought the men that were quiet were more wise. I've often thought that. Like, my grandfather was a wise man. He would sit, and we'd be talking about other stuff. He would be just sitting quiet. And then out of the blue, here he come with the voice of reason. You know, after he has deduced everybody's craziness out of it and ciphered all that off and got down to the bone, here he come with wisdom. You know, and I think a real man has to have that. A real man has to have that certain level of wisdom. Because when you gossip, what does gossip do? It increases in more ungodliness.
Right.
You know, even the scripture says that we shouldn't be gossiping. Right. Because it'll do that to you. I think real men ought to have in their arsenal wisdom.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there is something to be said about being silent sometimes.
Yeah, you got to know what to say and when to say it.
Right.
You know, and why would you even waste your time? For me, I don't have time to sit around and just gossip about somebody.
Right.
I mean, if I go, like on my job, for instance, it's a lot of screwed up people in there. It's like a bag of trail mix, nuts everywhere, okay? So I don't have time.
Why didn't you say raisins?
It's raisins too, but it's mostly nuts
I got
and
you.
different kinds of nuts.
I got you.
All right, so I don't.
M&Ms.
Some M&Ms on there. So I don't have time to sit around and do the things they do.
Right.
I'm coming there to work. I got things popping. I got to do things. So when they going around, you know, gossiping and talking and all this type of stuff, you know, and upper management hears that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
Where do you get time? You must don't have a life.
Right.
If you got to sit around and gossip all the time. That's the thing of it.
I think also men don't tell other folks about their business.
Oh no.
I mean, you ever seen a real gossipy man that tells folks, like, you know, about their wife on the job? And then when the wife come around, they got to eat all the stuff that they
Right,
said
yeah,
because
yeah.
you know everybody thought your wife was ugly with a kickstand and was
Right.
you know. Then she come through the door looking good. You like,
Right.
that's your wife.
That's your wife, right.
That ain't who you said.
Right.
That ain't
You
the way
said-
you describe her. See, man, sometimes men got to shut up. You know what I mean? Because you end up eating those words.
Right.
You know, so don't share your family business out in the public. You know, sometimes you may not have nobody to talk to. Find a brother somewhere that you can confide in to talk to.
Yeah, who don't have a big mouth and he know how to
big
shut
mouth.
up.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Never tell your male friends your problems that you having in your relationship.
Because if you lack control in that area with your mouth,
Yeah.
you lack control in other areas.
Yeah.
Oh,
Your
no
life.
doubt.
Something
No
wrong,
doubt.
you know?
Because, you know,
You got to keep your mouth shut.
Got to keep your mouth shut, man.
Plus, you might be telling somebody that isn't in a position to advise you anyway.
Right.
And sometimes you don't need to advise people. Sometimes you just need to talk. If you got to talk to somebody, just listen. You don't need to say nothing. I'm just trying to vent for a second and
Right.
get it off my chest so I can go back in and handle my
There you
business.
go.
Right.
There you go.
Right.
Period.
Exactly right.
You know, you come
Right.
tell me something. I'm gonna ask you straight up. Do you want my opinion on it?
Right.
You sure? Because you know I'm gonna give it to you 100.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you know if you tell me yeah, well look, this is how I see it right here. And if you say no, then I'm just gonna shut up and be like, all right, well you know, hey, I hope you get that worked out. I'm gonna keep you in prayer. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna
Right,
walk it
right.
off.
Yeah,
Right,
That's it.
right. So you got to do it.
Right
That's
there.
important.
Because I think a lot of times men have a habit of talking too much. Sometimes I think we have a good habit of just having too much conversation with people. And I think we have to sometimes be careful about what we say.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Scripture says power of life and death is in
It's in
the
the tongue.
tongue.
in
Right.
the tongue.
Yeah.
And I think men need to understand, being the backbone in the head, that what you say out your mouth,
Got to be careful.
you got to be real careful.
Right.
When you speak to your children,
Yep.
That's
be
right.
careful. Because it might come back to haunt you.
That's right.
I had to get on my daughter the other day, you know, just decisions. But at the end of the day, at the end of the conversation, I told her, I said, you're beautiful. I said,
Yeah.
you got too much going for you.
Yeah.
I said, a man has to come up to where you are. I said, you're not dipping all the way
Right.
down there. I said, you got it going on. You know, and that's how you got to talk to your kids. So
I
that
know the
mouth is
scripture is
important.
clear on it. The scripture says if you bridle not your tongue, you deceive your own heart. So you believe in your own mess.
Right.
So you got to be careful, brothers.
Gotta be
Keep
careful.
keep your tongue where it needs to be.
All right. Another trait is a real man's word is his bond. I'm going to say that.
Keep it.
Word is bond, man.
Yeah, should be.
When a real man makes a promise, he keeps it.
Yes.
Bottom line, if he can't keep a promise, he's not a man of his word.
Wow.
You know?
Unless he intentionally broke that promise because you caused him to break that promise. He needed to break it in order not to keep.
Yeah. It depends. It depends because a real well.
What about a brother that says he's gonna call you and don't?
And don't call you. Well,
Forgot.
why didn't he call you? Was it an emergency
Okay, he hit you with that.
or something like that?
Second time,
The
I'm
second.
gonna call you at 9
Oh,
o'clock.
now if habitually he's saying I'm gonna call you and he don't call you,
Yeah.
that's the problem.
Problem.
Yeah,
That's
the
a
problem.
sign.
That's a problem
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
a sign
It's a
about
sign.
everything else in his life.
Yeah, it's a sign.
Yeah.
You know, I used to have a bad habit when I got off the phone of saying, all right, I'm gonna call you right back. And you might not get a call from me till tomorrow.
Right.
If you lucky.
Right,
Or 2,
right,
3, 4
right.
days down the road. I'm gonna call you right back.
Right.
But
right back,
and it
ain't
was
right back.
wasn't really right back. But after you start talking to me for a minute, you okay. So I'm talking to you next week then.
Right.
Then you start to learn
Right.
back.
that's
don't
what it.
mean-
Yeah, Well, I didn't mean right back like as in
Right.
2-3 minutes.
Right.
So I had to stop. Saying
Saying
I'm gonna
right
call you
back.
right back. I just started saying, all right, well, I'm gonna holler at you later.
Yeah.
But
That's
some
pretty
people
cool.
still spend that. Well, I thought you said later as in later on this. No, I said later. I didn't say when later was.
Right.
Later in life.
Right.
I got a partner like that. I got a partner that's in California. He'll always say, "Yo, man, I'm gonna call you right back." I've been having that joke for 2 weeks.
Right.
I'm like,
Right.
bro, what's up with right back? Man, my bag. I was gonna hit you back, dude. But I
It's the same way with people
I don't
saying,
even mean right back. This is like if I say I'm gonna call you right back, if I don't give you a time frame, it's
Right.
not right back. If I say I'm gonna call you back in 10 minutes,
oh,
I'm
okay.
calling you back.
Yeah.
It's just the same as people saying, I'm going to pray for you.
Yeah, that's true. They
And
don't
you
really pray.
never, as soon as you get off the phone, you forget about that person.
Right.
You ain't even thinking about
You
it.
ain't thinking about it.
But you want them to think that you did.
Right.
You know, I think, especially at my house, I try to always, if I say I can do something, I'm going to do it.
Right.
If I say I'm going to be there at 3 o'clock, I'm going to be there at 3 o'clock. If I say I'm going to buy you those shoes on Friday, and I tell my son that, I gotta buy him those shoes on Friday. Because if I don't, then I don't keep my word. And if I don't keep my word, he don't have to keep his word.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? If I don't keep my word to my daughter that, hey, I'm going to pay your bill, it's $15,000. How you going to do it, Daddy? Don't worry about that. But when it comes time for the bill to be paid, I'm paying it. Guess what? Bill paid. I got to keep my word.
Got to keep your word.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got to keep it.
And a real man would rather die than to break his word.
Yeah.
A real man also knows that his words are as powerful as his actions.
Yeah.
And they must be taken at face value. And that is why he rations them, because they have weight.
Yeah.
He
That's
said,
so true.
words
So
got
true,
weight.
man. I don't mess around when it comes to that.
Yeah. A real man strives to be a role model. And I think that's huge. You got to be a
that's
role
major.
model, not just for your kids, but for everybody that's watching you.
Yeah.
Really, you got to strive to be a role model. A real man respects himself and others at all times. Unless, of course, he's been disrespected. Sometimes you got to, come about yourself and handle your business. You know,
Right.
A real man also sets examples for, his disciples,
Right.
especially for his children.
Right.
I never bring, my work home, so, your children they should only know you as their father, not as, a waste management executive.
Right.
Or a garbage man,
garbage?
whatever you
Right,
want.
right.
Whatever.
Whichever one.
However you want to spend it,
You don't spend it all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
Right, you're right.
Head maintenance engineer for the janitor.
Yeah, there you go.
They don't know yet that you leave work at home.
Yeah.
You should not do the same and a real man sets the tone for his children and keeps them from discovering that he actually has weaknesses. Because you want your kids to see you as that strong man. Because now they're gonna put their trust in you, be able to come to you whenever they have a situation or issue.
Right.
And that's actually goes to kind of what you were saying a minute ago too. As far as your kids, if you don't keep your words with your kids, keep your word with your kids, they lose trust in you.
Yeah, that is true.
And what I think a lot of people don't understand, especially when you have youth coming up, if once the kids start losing trust in you, and then mom doesn't keep her word, or uncle or aunt or a teacher, somebody doesn't keep their word, then they begin to not trust in anyone. So now when there's a situation or something comes about, why should they come to you?
Right, you're right. It's like this. If I'm in a house and I know the family's in a situation and my faith is weak, and I'm walking around the house scared to death and moping, and the kids see that, they're gonna be like, God,
That's right. You can't do it.
We in trouble.
Can't do it.
We all do.
I know we done.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So regardless of the situation, I can't show weakness at that point.
Yeah.
I've got to be strong. I got to say, I'm the man. We're going to be all right.
Yeah.
We're just going to find a nice shelter, but we're going to be okay.
Right.
You got to do. I'm gonna work 2-3 jobs, and even though I might be about to pass out, and on my third bottle of 5-hour energy extra strength, you're not gonna see that I'm tired and fatigued.
Right.
Now, when you're not looking, I'm in a coma.
Right.
Mama like, leave daddy alone.
Right.
Be tired.
Yeah. I think I have let my son and my daughter see my humanity as strength. You know what I mean? Like, I'm human.
Right.
Although I'm this big, strong dad, and I'm always on my game,
Right.
I have a level of humanity. I almost said humility, but humanity, in being humble.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't have to be the big bear.
Right.
So I don't want to come off like that. Real men don't have to be the big bear, the big wolf around the house. But you have to show that you do have some humanity when it comes to it. A real man makes his own fortune. Right? A real man doesn't settle for handouts or charity when it comes down to personal fortune. You know what I mean? A real man isn't satisfied with Papa's money.
Right.
He wants to have his own money.
Yeah.
A real man doesn't depend on Lady Luck. You know what I mean? The lottery, I'm waiting on that.
Right.
I'm waiting on our time to hit while y'all broke.
$500
You know what I
million.
mean? $500 a month on the lottery.
Right.
And y'all short on y'all money in the house.
Right.
Yeah, and especially that the dude that's sitting around
Oh, yeah.
waiting on the unemployment check.
Yeah.
And like I got 8 more weeks, so I'm just gonna ride it out.
Ride it out.
That's a sorry
Yes.
Yeah, you
yes.
wait.
brother. Number 1, how is that enough
Yes.
change for you?
Right.
Right.
Number 2, you good with staying at home, watching your lady
Wife
go
going
work?
to work. Yeah.
You good with that?
Kids ain't getting all their needs met, but you bringing
Yeah.
home $1,200 on this unemployment check.
Right. You good with that?
$1,200 a month.
$1,200.
I'm good with this. I'm good. I'm going to the gym doing the day.
$1,200.
I'm on this wheel over here. I'm on level 45.
Right.
I got this Xbox working. I've been
Come
doing
on,
my
you sitting at home running up the electric, eating up all the
in the
food.
refrigerator, checking to see if the
You
light go
know,
off.
while your lady at
Come on.
home work,
Yeah.
away at work, and then she come in and you want her to,
Not a
drop
real
it
man.
like it's hot
Not a real man.
and cook.
Not a real man.
Sucker.
Yeah.
He's a sucker.
Not a real man.
A
Not
buster.
A real man. Not a real man.
All right, this one gonna hurt somebody, but that's too bad. A real man doesn't look like a woman.
Oh!
Say it again.
A real man does not look like a woman.
Well, you done said 100,000.
Watch out, church folk.
Now this really gonna hurt somebody because some people ain't gonna agree with this, but you know it is what it is. A real man doesn't have piercings and long hair that could eliminate him from the workforce.
That's what we talking about.
Right.
Okay.
We don't mean you can't get your ear pierced.
Yeah.
But we saying
Or
when
you
got
can't
that
have
thing in
dreads,
your
but
nose,
yeah, if it's gonna keep you from making that money to take care of your
And that
family,
tattoo on
you
your
got to
neck.
change the game.
Yeah,
You know, so your only job you can get is the waste management executive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And quit
Yeah.
thinking you can get a tongue piercing because that female down the street got a tongue piercing.
Dude,
That's really some Tinkerbell stuff.
Dude,
That really is. That
I
really
went
is.
to work the other day. The security guard, big strapping brother, got on the doggone tongue ring. I was looking at him.
He lick his tongue out at you.
I said, "Give me my badge." I showed him my badge. Like, don't touch my stuff. I'm like, come on, in uniform.
He can I get put on the first shift?
He didn't talk like that.
Big Bobby gonna
He
be
didn't
coming.
talk like that. No, he was a strong brother, but he had a tongue ring up in there. I was like, really?
I know some.
Yeah,
I know
that's
some
crazy.
brothers though. It's just something that I don't particularly agree with. Maybe, and you can call me and say, "Well, you from the old school? Yeah, I'm from the old school."
Yeah.
I just
We already talked about being old.
And you old.
Yeah.
You're old
And
this.
I'm old, you know,
Up
so-
in this piece.
You know, my ears are my ears.
Just
You know,
P.I.
my,
Yeah.
Peace.
you know, my hair. I'm just gonna keep it. I want when you look at me, I want you to know what I am. I don't want to be no mistaken about it. You
There
know,
you go.
if you look at me from behind, it's like, well, is it? I don't know. You know,
Look at you from behind.
if I'm walking,
Yeah, why
you know what I'm talking
did that
about.
even come out of
Look at
his
you
mouth?
from behind.
What I'm saying is because some guys just
Eric
look
is crazy.
feminine.
He sets himself up for that stuff.
You know what I'm saying? No, you know, y'all not understanding what I'm saying.
I got you. Some men from behind look like
Women, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
I ain't never seen none of them.
you must be. What? Bobby, shut up. You just trying to say that. You trying to set me up. Yeah, all these-
You know I'm just messing with
I
you.
know you
I'm
messing
just
with me.
messing with you.
Too many of them out here. You know, and for me now I know men are getting manicures now.
Yeah, they do,
Okay,
they
they
do.
do.
They get manicures.
You know, that's not a man thing for me.
Okay.
I can't do it. It's acceptable. They're doing it out here now. My wife was like, you can go stand and go get your manicure. That's not me. I don't want nobody touching on my feet like that. That's just me. You know.
And that's fine. Now I got to argue the negative on that because
Some brothers do it.
I think if you're gonna be touching your lady and you got a bunch of hangnails, that's not gonna be comfortable for her. And now if she taking care of it for you at home.
It's called
Right.
lotion.
No, I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about your nails. I'm
Right.
talking about your nails. I ain't saying you getting no polish and nothing like that. But if you got to go for somebody to clip your joints and buff them and straighten them out so that you're not scratching your lady up at night whenever you touch them, whether it's your crusty toes, you know, or whether it's your nails on your hand. That's just keeping. That's just watching out for your lady.
That's maintenance
You know what
that
I'm
you
saying?
can do. You
And
can do those
what if she
maintenance
wants you?
things.
What if she wants you to touch her somewhere special?
You can.
Ouch. Okay. Now you got a hangnail. You done scratched up the inside of her love cushion. Okay. So now she all uncomfortable. So now you done
Right.
scratched it, cause some internal bleeding.
I mean, you at least
and you think you supposed to go up in there
right. You at least
and
take,
get the same stroke.
You
It's
can-
not gonna happen.
You can take care of it. I'm not saying let your stuff grow wild.
That's
can
all
take
I'm
care
saying.
of it,
That's all I'm
but
saying.
a man going in there, I've seen some men and we're getting polished and all that type of stuff. I'm like, I ain't on all that. You know?
All right,
I ain't say
Can
nothing
you
about
get
no
a
polish.
A real man has to have at least one suit. All right,
Guys have a suit.
gotta have a suit. All right.
How many suits you got, Eric?
I got plenty of suits, man.
That's not what I said. How many suits you got?
I think about maybe 10 or 12, something like that.
I know Bobby got like 35 suits.
Gotta have a suit, man.
Gotta have
You
a
know
suit.
when you go to the funeral, can't be up in the funeral in a sweater. Gotta have a suit.
And
Go
you
to
got-
the
Why is
wedding,
the dead person gonna see what you got on?
go to the wedding, gotta have a suit.
gotta have a suit. And a real
Job
man,
interview, gotta have a suit.
a real man should know how to tie a tie too.
Gotta tie a tie.
There's a lot of these young fellas don't know how to tie
They
ties
don't. They
at
don't.
all.
Come on,
You gotta know how to tie.
Man,
You're not even
let
a
me
man
tell you
until you know how to tie a tie.
hit him up, Chad. Next.
I see him on them. No, a real man is all about the money. No, I'm just kidding. A real man keeps his house in order. Have you ever been inside of your boss's house? There ain't no pizza boxes sitting around up in that camp. First of all, that's just dirty. Somebody need to, throw the pizza boxes around. Don't be eating no cold pizza out the couch. That's that Caucasian stuff right there after the party
Just
from the
nasty.
college.
Right.
Ain't no dirty undershirts on the floor. You don't have any unpaid bills being used as beer coasters.
I've seen that before.
No ruler can rule over the territory if it isn't already if he's not already the master of his own home.
True
That's
that.
right. That's right.
And that pretty much means that lazy pinheads out there need to stop using Mashimo as an excuse to live like a bottom feeder. Keep your spot spotless.
Right.
Keep your documents in order.
Right.
Listen up on this one. Clean your freaking suits.
Yeah. Stop being wrinkled, nasty.
Yeah. It's okay to earn.
Some guy
Don't you
like that
see that?
today, man.
Just
That
wrinkled.
burns me
something.
up. I'm like, why are you coming to work like that?
Yeah. Just wrinkled.
That irons exist.
Yeah. Just wrinkled.
And this dude, yeah, he's Caucasian. You know, I don't know if he's just coming to work. I'm looking at, he's on the elevator texting. First of all, he's texting like this, so that's already, I'm messing me up right there, right? Then I'm looking down at the dude's pants on the sides. He got giant wrinkles, just all the way
Like they were
down.
balled up.
Like they was balled up in the corner. He just
Wow.
grabbed him, picked him up, and just put him on.
Wow.
Well, a lot of people, don't take the time. Just because your suit was hanging up doesn't mean you don't need to iron it, because you still got those hanger creases
Hanger creases,
Right,
yeah.
right.
right there. So you got to iron that.
When I've seen folks with nasty houses, young men, nasty houses, wanting to get married, guess what they gonna do? Have a
nasty house when they
Yeah.
get married.
You got that
Like we
right.
said about the female,
Yep.
Yeah.
who has a nasty house.
Ugh.
Guess what? They get married, they gonna have a nasty house.
nasty
The
house.
worst thing in the world is going to a male or female's house. If you all lift up the toilet seat and it's just that nasty, dirty ring in it and all, man, I'm telling you, I just want to vomit. I'm not even gonna lie. That just made me like, well, is somebody supposed to sit on it?
Wow. That's
And why you let me go to the bathroom to see it? Because I would at least told you hold fast for a second and go handle that.
I
That's
would've-
some nastiness.
I went over. This was in L.A. Went over a friend of my brother's house, and we were supposed to have been staying over there, right? I walk up in there, John. You know how you can tell when somebody didn't have enough time to clean up, but they was trying to clean up. So you walk in and smell bleach. You know what I'm saying? But the walls were so dirty, you can see what they just did. Like it was circles everywhere. I'm like, no, you need to go out and get a hose and just hose the inside of the house down.
Right.
Don't offer me a seat if the plastic is cracked and you got string beans lined up inside of the crack. I mean, and then offer me that's just nasty.
No, I don't want that. That's okay. I'm good.
You don't want to do it.
Real men know how to defend themselves, right? They know how to defend themselves because, and that's what's going on in the world today. They don't really have the ability to defend themselves. They kind of take what's coming at them.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Back in the day, men knew how to stand up for themselves.
Yeah.
Men knew how to stand up and be counted.
Black
Yeah.
Panthers.
Men
baby.
don't know how to do that anymore. Men just kind of take it.
Black nationalists.
You know what I mean? They'll let their whole life go down the toilet bowl
Right.
rather than looking at how other men are successful and learning how to be successful.
And blame it on
You know
the
what I
man.
mean? Yeah, they never do that. Men today don't do that, but men have to learn how to take
Right,
and
right.
defend themselves and stand up for themselves.
Right.
On the job, off the job. You don't mean you have to be the executive on the ladder.
Right.
But you know, you still got to be wherever you at.
Right.
You know, you can defend where you at.
I'm like this. On my job, I don't care how much money you make more. You're not going to talk to me a certain type of way.
Right, exactly.
You know, I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to give me the respect. So I'm not going to sit there and just take it and whimper down. It's like, yes, this is Captain Bolt. I sure is. Yeah, nah.
You did that pretty well, though.
It ain't going to happen.
Like you've been practicing.
Mailbox time.
Your new mail is in.
Mailbox question?
Time, yeah.
Your new mail is in.
It says, me and my boyfriend have been together for 3 years.
Can't establish that.
I let him move in with me this summer because he was having financial issues.
Wrong move.
And I wanted to be a supportive girlfriend, she says. My parents are coming to visit me for the holidays and are not aware that my boyfriend and I are living together. Would it be wrong for me to ask him if he could go stay with a friend until they leave?
Are you crazy?
It's jacked up.
You already let the man in the house. Just tell your parents that he's staying there.
But her parents mean a lot to her. She might be young.
Okay, well, you know what? Then she shouldn't have never let him move in, because if she tell him to leave and go stay at his friend's house, he don't need to never come back.
True that. 3 years they've been living together.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like,
Think about that.
If you're grown enough to let somebody live with you, you should be grown enough to tell your
Well, it
parents,
says they've
this
been
is my
together for 3
situation.
years. They might not only been living together.
Well, since the summer.
This
They've
summer.
been-
This
yeah,
summer,
since
This
the
summer, so it's been 6 months, right? 6 months.
Because he having financial issues.
Because he had financial issues. Wait a minute now.
So why would his boy let him stay with him for the holidays?
It's only for a month.
It's for the holidays. Only for a month.
Yeah, maybe from
Let
now
me tell you
till
something.
January.
If I was that dude, you send me something and tell me I got to go stay somewhere
look,
for a month.
You're already having financial issues anyway.
Well, whatever.
You see what I'm saying? Look what
I have
kind of man we're
financial
dealing
issues
with.
on my own. I'm not going back up in there.
Yeah, you will if
You
you
won't
got.
have the ability to put me out ever again.
What if they only staying for a week?
I don't care. If they only staying for a week, okay, well then tell you what. When they get the day they get there, maybe I'll be gone. I'm gonna come in a little bit later. You introduce me and whatever. This is my man. Y'all sleeping over here. We sleeping over there. We're gonna keep it. I mean, cause you grown.
I understand.
Come on
That's
now.
true, but
either
What if
it's
the
your
parents-
house or it's
But
not.
what if the parents is putting up little funds on the side?
Now the parents putting up funds. Then she was wrong for letting them move in.
And
like
I
that.
love my parents, and I don't want to disrespect my parents.
Yeah.
My parents are old school. My parents are good Christian folks. They don't know that I'm living with this
Right,
person.
right.
Well, see, that's what
See what I'm saying?
she messed up, because she should have either let them know or at least told him well before now. I mean,
and that's the key.
it's December 15th.
That's
Yeah.
the key
You
right
telling me
there.
he got to go now? He got 2 weeks to try to find, because you making the assumption that he can go crash at this boy's spot. At least if you had told him, all right, well, you can stay, but my parents used to come down on holidays,
right,
so
right, set him
the
up
key.
for it.
yeah,
Yes.
I don't know, but you can stay till you try to get yourself together, or just know that the month between November and January,
Right.
my people's gonna be here, so you gonna have to find a spot to lay up. You gotta do
good.
something.
Yeah, so she told him that up front.
Right,
It
she
was
said
a
it up front.
different type of
But
situation.
she hadn't done that.
Because now he prepared for
So
it. She
what
didn't
should
do
she
that.
do?
She should have done
Since
that.
she hadn't done it,
It's-
is she
it's
gonna
like-
risk embarrassment in front of her parents, or let him move out for a week?
Well, why is the guy to be embarrassed in front of his parents?
Because that's how she feels. It comes
Yeah.
through the question here. Kind of says she's trying to keep it from her parents because she's going to be embarrassed by it. It seems that way from the. what
Well,
she's saying.
I'm thinking that if she's embarrassed, because unless the parents are chugging up some money to help her pay her rent, that's a different story. But if that's not the case and she's embarrassed, she's only embarrassed because this nigga's a deadbeat.
That's right.
Period. So if he's standing up in there, then he needs to at least be coming with 50%.
Right, so what does financial struggles mean? No job?
Got issues. Can't afford no mortgage.
Because obviously, because if that's the case, she don't even need to introduce him, period, to her parents. Because the father, if I'm the father, I'm gonna be like, so what you do?
Right.
That's one of my first questions.
Right.
What's going on in your life? What you doing? hey, boy, what?
I think the other side of it is. Remember what you said in one of the other shows, Eric?
Were you dodging my face?
That you can't act like a wife
Right. Yep.
if you're a girlfriend.
Right.
I think she's kind of spilled over a little bit.
That's the case,
into
right.
that wifely thing
Right.
that we talked
That was
about.
an excellent point, Bobby.
So I would suggest that
That's why you
she
black
be
voters.
able to reestablish their relationship now. You gonna move out, my parents come.
Is that your holiday?
But here's the real. We're gonna have to re-talk about this
Yeah.
once you
And that's
move
the key
out.
right there.
Because I think I've let you stay for 6 months,
Yeah.
and I was trying to be supportive.
Right.
You know, this is our opportunity. Hit him with the parent thing.
And
You know?
if he's any type of real man,
He'll
he
stand
would
up.
understand. He would say,
He'll
"You're
stand
right. That's right."
I tell you what, tell him to listen to this show first before you tell him he got to move out. All right, let's do the contest, man.
All right. The
Let's do it.
contest.
Eric, I think it's on you.
The contest. Sure, it's on me.
The
Why wouldn't it
contest
be
show.
on me? Why wouldn't the
Going
contest?
to the contest.
All right, check it out,
Contest
y'all.
show.
To
Eric
participate in
is
this contest,
retarded.
you must be a follower of the show. Go to www.spreaker.com. Sign up with your email address.
That's three-
Type in
three
off
W's.
the
Say it
cuff
again.
in the search box and then click on the follow button. They know. That will make you a part of the OTC family. Now, we will be choosing a winner every week, and all the weekly winners will be put into a drawing to win the monthly prize, which is a $50 Visa gift card. Now, if we call your name as one of the weekly winners, you have a week from the date we call your name to respond and become eligible for the monthly drawing. If we do not hear from you within the week,
You still
your name is
reading?
called. You forfeit your eligibility to win the $50
taking a
Visa
long
gift
time to
card,
read that.
but you still qualify for the
You know
grand
Eric
prize
struggles.
drawing. I am so sorry, okay? We will be choosing the winners of the week for the $50 Visa gift card, all right, Bobby?
Leo's we read faster than you read.
For every first Sunday of the
You
month
sound like he was from Alabama. Just
through
now.
December 30th, 2012. But hold on right there a second. There's a more to this contest. So Chad's going to come out here and tell about the grand prize drawing. Go ahead and tell him away, Chad.
Well, Eric, what we got right here? I'm gonna tell you about it.
Tell us about it. Where
I'm
you
gonna tell you about it. Woo! Every month, we got a Visa card winners. And they will be put into this drawing to have the opportunity to be a guest host on the show.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. They're gonna be a guest host on the show,
Are they from the South?
and we're gonna have a hold down and a get down for the Billy Down.
Big mowing all the hogs. We gonna-
Morning.
You say Marlon.
Now you know how we roll on off the cuff. You know how we roll on off the cuff. I asked you a question, boy.
I'm listening to you right now.
All right then. We keeps it 100 up in this here piece.
I got you. 100.
100.
100.
100.
100. Man,
So if you see you're going to be a guest host, you want to be chosen to be a guest host on the show,
I love to be chosen.
You love to be
I love
chosen?
to be chosen. Be chosen is a great thing, ain't it, Bob?
be chosen.
I clap.
Yeah, he glad gonna be chosen.
I gotta
Be
watch
ready
that
to
class.
keep it real on off the cuff. Our grand prize winners will be chosen January 6th of 2013. That's January 6th of 2013. Make sure you get registered. That means sign up.
Oh, that was that man.
That means sign up if you want to be a part of what we do.
Oh, I didn't even know what
And we do
that color. Intelligent
up in
color.
this piece.
And we do.
And we do. Now, past winners from the last contest will claim their prizes and be included in the grand prize drawing. So let's go. Come on, Eric.
All right.
Tell us who the winner is, Eric.
I'm trying to rate it, sir.
This boy dumber than a hog in the morning has been slaughtered.
You know how you colors be naming your folk.
Oh, now we colors. Yeah.
What's that? Angela DeClama? What is
All
that?
I know is you might become strange fruit yourself. You keep sitting there.
What is that?
Control.
What is
Angela.
and
DeClama.
okay.
Angela DeClama.
Angela DeClama.
I think that's her name.
ADECLAMA. All right.
That's right.
Man, that's
DeClama it
okay.
is.
Yeah, you need to call in, Angela.
All right, now you can go, Angela, to www.menoffthecuff.com. That's www.menoffthecuff.com. Or you just email us at menoffthecuff@yahoo.com. Yahoo!
Very good, very good. Ladies, I hope you got a lot out of the show tonight. There's a lot of good men out there. I hope so. After tonight, they have been informed.
That's right. No excuse.
So you have no excuses.
None.
You should be able to tell the real men from the imposters now. Let's get out of here, fellas.
All right.
Do it.
See you back here next week.
Same place, same time.
Where we keeps it real. God loves it. And we out.
Later.
There it is.
Yeah.
You stupid.
You start.
This is God ordained. Get in position, cause we on a mission, fulfilling this vision, releasing contention in this God we praise. The one who keeps us from falling, receiving this faultless. Ooh, that man is awesome. You see, it's every day we celebrate. Right now it's time for us to elevate. So get your hands up, cause Hosanna is great. And see, they call it off the cuff because we tailor-made.
Off the cuff, yeah.